Hi there, I'm Dr. Chris Moore, and I'm the Programme Lead for the undergraduate degree in Biomedical Science at UWE Bristol. Now, this is going to be an introduction to some of the terminology you'll want to familiarise yourself with if you are either thinking of accepting an offer from us, or indeed you already have accepted an offer from us and are looking forward to joining us this academic year. An academic year is really a good place to start. From a student perspective, the academic year runs from roughly late September in a calendar year to the following May or June. This is when most of your classes and your assessments will take place. There is, of course, that period between May and June and the start of the next academic year, and this is for things like admin, marking, planning, and in some cases, resits, which I'll come on to in a little bit. Now, your undergraduate degree is made up of levels and credits. In order to obtain an honours degree, you need to obtain 360 credits at undergraduate level. This is broken down into 120 credits per academic year, per level. If you are joining us on the foundation start of the course, then this will be level 0 and is your first year of study. If you are joining us directly into level 1 on the undergraduate degree version of the course, then this will also be your first year of study, but you will have bypassed that foundation year, that level 0. You will still need in levels 1, 2 and 3 to complete and obtain 120 credits per year, totaling 360 for the honours degree. Now, these credits are broken down into modules, and modules are kind of your units of study. In level 1, for example, you will take 4 modules, each at 30 credits. A 30 credit module usually spans an entire academic year, and therefore it is both semesters, both pre and post Christmas. If you're taking a 15 credit module, this may be September to Christmas, or indeed it may be January till April, May. And this is how we break down those 120 credits into 30s and 15s. Level 1 is 4 modules of 30 credits each. Level 2 is some modules at 30 credits and some modules at 15 credits, and then the same thing for level 3. Level 2 and level 3 is where you get to make some choices as to the units of study that you take, and therefore the combination of 30s and 15 credits. Each module has within it assessments. It's passing these assessments that gains you the credits. It is the grade or the score you get for those assessments that may ultimately determine your degree classification. To massively oversimplify things, the credits for level 1 are necessary for the degree, but the scoring which you get for the modules on that are not necessary and are not included in what is ultimately your degree classification calculation. The same is true of level 0. You must pass the credits at level 0 to progress to level 1. You must pass the credits at level 1 to progress to level 2 and level 2 to level 3. But it is only credits in levels 2 and 3 that ultimately inform whether you get a first, a 2-1, a 2-2 and so on. And that's the very simple breakdown. Within each module, there tends to be, though increasingly so it's not always the case, 2 components of assessment. Component A is what you would consider the exam component, that which is somewhat controlled conditions, or at least constrained conditions. Now, this used to be exam halls, invigilators, and paper-written exams. Of course, that's now changed in recent years, particularly over the last year. And with the greater amounts of innovation and better strategies of assessment, these are less of an on-campus examination or assessment and more of an at-home online kind. And this will vary module to module exactly what it is. But component A is what you would think of as exams. This is testing your knowledge in a more high-pressure situation. Component B is your coursework component. This is where there are virtually no controlled conditions, no constraints other than following the brief. And this is something that you have to do over a period of usually several weeks. Now, in either coursework component or exam component, there may be multiple parts to either or both. You may have an exam, for example, just after Christmas in January, and then another one on the same module after the Easter period around May. Equally, you may have just one end-of-year exam. You may have multiple exams throughout the year on the same module. You may have one piece of coursework too. There may be multiple small pieces of coursework that build up a portfolio. This is all dependent on the skills and the knowledge and the context of the modules that you're studying as to how they vary. It wouldn't be a benefit to your learning, really, if everything was exactly the same. Consistency in how we approach assessment is important, but standardization isn't going to enable you and promote you really to start strong, progress strong, and finish strong to go out there and get a good career and make a big difference in the world. So you have in the undergraduate degree 3 years of study in the normal model, level 1, level 2, and level 3. If you are doing the sandwich variant of the program, which everyone is automatically enrolled on, then you would be doing level 1, level 2, then in between level 2 and level 3, you have the opportunity, if you apply for it or can find it, to do a year-long sandwich placement that is normally 40 weeks of the academic year. You would then come back and complete level 3. This would mean that you're doing 4 years of study, but you're completing 3 levels of your undergraduate education. If, as I mentioned earlier, you are on the foundation variant of the course, you would do level 0, level 1, level 2, possibly take up a sandwich placement opportunity in between levels 2 and 3, and then return for level 3. And therefore you would be doing 4 years of study, but again completing level 0, level 1, level 2, and level 3, and then graduating. If, on the other hand, you are doing the MSci version of the course, you would be adding an additional year after level 3 before you graduate with an MSci. An MSci is not a full master's. It is a master's level of additional education following on from level 3 of a BSc, but it is not gaining you a BSc and a master's. It is gaining you a single MSci qualification. And so depending on the variant of the course that you're choosing and whether you take up a sandwich placement opportunity or not, this will extend the number of years of study, but it won't change what you refer to each level as. So that is years and levels. Within levels, of course, you have the modules. Within each module, you have normally 2 components of assessment. Each component of assessment may have within it 1 or more elements. Now, you have what are called sits, first sits, and resits. And just to go through an example here, so if we take a level 1 module, 30 credits, it therefore spans the whole academic year. It has 2 components, component A and component B. Component A consists of 2 exams, online exams in this example, 1 in January and 1 in April-May. That is therefore 2 elements within a component. You then have the coursework. This again has 2 elements in it, element 1 and element 2, and they may be halfway through semester 1 and the second one halfway through semester 2. There is therefore 4 assessments that you must take in order to gain those credits. Now, in this case, you don't have to pass each element, you only have to pass a component. Therefore, if we had 2 exams and each of them were worth 50% of component A, the exam component, you would simply need to average 40% in those 2 exams in order to pass the exam component. The same holds true for the coursework. You would need to average 40% for the 2 pieces of coursework in order to pass the coursework component. You then need to average 40% or more as an average of the coursework component and the exam component, and this is what gets you the credits. The number that you get above and beyond that, 50, 60, 70, 80%, whatever it might be for that module average, is what, if at level 2 and level 3, will help determine your degree classification calculation. And this is the only thing to bear in mind in terms of what you need to take and what you need to pass. So you need to pass at component level. Now, if things don't go as imagined, or things don't go as well as you expected, and you get less than 40% on average for your component, you get an opportunity to resit. This is an automatic referral to be able to have another go. Now, those resit opportunities do not have a cap. There is no maximum that you can score by taking the resit. You can't take a resit opportunity if you scored over 40% for your component average, because it is deemed that you have passed. You can't have another go because you want to do better. You can only have another opportunity if you got less than 40% in that component average. However, you only need to actually resit the element that scored less than 40% and contributed to that less than 40% average. And this therefore reduces the amount of work that you need to retake. There is no real strength in being told that you have to resubmit a piece of work that you did very well in, when in fact the reason that your average was less than a pass was because you were ill or absent for the other piece of work. And so we've done everything possible in order to provide you with the most suitable and appropriate opportunities for you to succeed. The same thing goes with exams. Now, if you do not unfortunately pass in that resit opportunity, which is normally in late July of an academic year, then you go into what's called a retake. A retake is where you have to retake the module in the following academic year, usually with attendance and having to resubmit or retake all of the assessments within that module. But this is another opportunity for you to succeed and do better. There's usually a cost implication with that because, of course, you are taking a module again, and that is what your student fees go towards. Now, hopefully that's given you a bit of an overview as to the terminology and things that are built in. Your assessments will vary from online quizzes to essay-based exams, posters, presentations, video blogs, paper analytics, case studies, short communications. There will be all kinds of assessments that are available to you. They are designed to assess your skills, but also promote your skills, for you to show what you are stronger in, for you to build on any perceived weaknesses you think you may have. And feedback is also an important part of that. So that hopefully gives you an overview as to how your degree is structured and some of the terminology that you might come across. Years, levels, components, credits, elements, assessments, exams, and coursework. A lot more will be explained to you as we go into the induction period and across the years of study, so don't worry, you don't need to remember it all now. I just thought it might help give you a bit of a head start. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye-bye.